Are shaking my eye. Today we have, as a presenter for Satsang, is one of our newly initiated, one of our babies, Gita-Ji, our Africa.
Not shaking.
So I'm talking today about having a negative attitude in regards to your values.
Okay.
it's a broken part, replace it. If it's a broken arm, then brace it. If it's a broken heart, then face it. And hold your own, know your name, and go your own way. Hold your own, know your name, and go your own way. And everything will be fine. Hang on, help is on the way. Stay strong, I'm doing everything. Hold your own, know your name, and go your own way. Hold your own, know your name, and go your own way. And everything will be fine. Everything. All the details in the fabric, all the things that make you panic, all your thoughts, results of static play. All the things that make you roar, have no reason, go on and scream. If you're shocked, it's just the fault of faulty manufacturing. Everything will be fine. Everything, no time at all. Everything hold your own, know your name, go your own way. Hold all the details in the fabric, know all the things that make you panic. Go all your thoughts, results of static cling. Hold the details in the fabric, know all the things that make you panic. Go your Mother Nature's sewing machine. Hold all the things that make you move. Know your reason, go on and scream. If you're shocked, it's just the fault of faulty manufacturing. Everything will be fine. Everything in no time at all. Hearts will hold.
Okay, there is a story about a poor man whom Parvati, the Hindu goddess, took pity because this man was a devotee of Lord Shiva, the Hindu god. So Parvati pleaded with Lord Shiva on his behalf that through divine blessing he be made a rich man. That is impossible, said Lord Shiva. If it were otherwise, I would have helped him a long time ago. He is negative, and not even gods can help one who is negative. But Parvati persevered in pleading on this man's behalf. All right, said Lord Shiva, you will see it for yourself. She was shown this man walking along a road, and Lord Shiva caused a bag of gold to be placed along the road ahead of him, so that he can come upon it and have it for himself. The poor man came along, and a few meters from where the treasure was kept, said to himself, all my life I have walked with my eyes open, and it is precious little that I have got for it. From now onwards, I shall walk with my eyes closed. And he walked past the treasure. This is the problem with negativity. It makes us walk past the treasures of life with our eyes closed. One of the problems that I'm dealing with personally is negative thoughts, especially like towards my practice. A lot of my thoughts is me not wanting to do it, and I'm telling myself that it's not working, and I'm just really thinking bad things about it unnecessarily. So, a negative attitude is something that I've dealt with for a while now, even before I was on the path. Going through our life without any real enthusiasm or joy because of a negative attitude and the possibility of appreciation. This attitude has carried over to the path, the guru, and my practice. How can I live at my highest potential if I'm blind to the grace bestowed upon me? Buddha said, beware your thoughts lest they become your words. Beware your words lest they become your deeds. Beware your deeds lest they become your habits. Beware your habits lest they become your character. And beware your character lest they become your destiny. My thoughts are shaping my destiny and my reality, and I continue to view my practice as a hindrance from the things I want to do versus as an aid to end my suffering. So what does it look like to have a negative attitude towards practice? For me personally, it takes the form of carelessness and unappreciation. It has become a habit of mine to fall asleep during my practice, and I notice that I do little things to make myself a little bit more comfortable. I sit with my back against the wall. I let my head drop to my chest, and I don't even fight like the drowsiness. And when it comes to my snatch outs, I'm constantly glancing at the clock and cutting my snatch outs short. After 50 minutes, I'm convincing myself that I'll do full time tomorrow. I treat my practice as if it's a chore. I'm in traffic on the way home from work, and I dread going home to do my practice. I lack any real enthusiasm. And as far as like just to elaborate on what I just said, when it comes to my practice, I know I'm supposed to go to bed the night before at a decent time, and I like make up excuses in my mind like, oh, I can get up, or oh, I'm not gonna fall asleep tomorrow, knowing that I will. I just really lie to myself. So it's just laziness. It's like I'm just being lazy, slothful when it comes to my practice. So I believe doubt plays a strong role in my negative attitude. This is something that I've struggled with for 2 years. James 2-7, the Bible states, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lack wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt. Because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That man should not think he will receive anything from the Lord. He is double-minded, unstable in all he does." So for a while, I've been feeling like I've been having like one foot in the door and one foot out, because I've let my friends and my family kind of dictate how I should feel, and I care a lot about how other people view me. So that plays a big role in like my double-mindedness, which really contributes to my negative attitude. I feel like I need their validation in order to like be accepted by them. So I know that the path comes with criticism, so I want them to accept me. I have to accept the fact that it's going to be criticism, and really just try to like cultivate some type of compassion, because they don't know. There are several other things that influence a negative attitude from a practice. I read in an article on Dharma Talks that the Buddha pointed out the 4 ways that people get led off course. 2 of them are following your likes and dislikes. The other 2 are giving in to delusion and fear. These things will put people off the path. We go wandering into the underbrush and then out to who knows where, simply because we like to follow what we like and to avoid what we dislike. Even though the things we dislike are often the things we've got to look at carefully. Why do we have such a dislike for them? And as for the things that we like, why do we like them? Exactly what do they do for us? It's easy to doubt other people. It's easy to doubt the teachings, but for some reason we find it very hard to doubt our defilements. All of these convictions and preconceived notions we're unwilling to give up. We like to create little worlds for ourselves. That is called the fluent of becoming that comes from ending up in the mind. And we're really good at it. We can create all kinds of worlds, beautiful worlds, ugly worlds, delightful worlds. The movies that we play in the theaters are nothing compared to the productions we can create in our minds over and over again. We're really good at it. We get our entertainment that way. It's a game we like to play. When we come to the practice, we want it to be another fun thing to do. We want it to be entertainment, so when we're told to deconstruct these things, it's very hard to do. We're very good at putting together and creating these worlds, but deliberately stepping out of them is hard. I don't like my practice because I'm bored, and I don't like sitting there. It's really hard, and I'm trying to make it something that it's not. I'm trying to make it something fun to do or something to entertain me, and that's not the way. I just have to accept it for what it is. Like, this is what it takes, and it's hard for me to accept that. It's like I'm fighting reality. Any questions so far? I know this also that there's also like the fear there, besides the fear of letting go of my likes and my dislikes, it's like a fear of failure. Like, I know that it takes all of you, and it's difficult, and so far I've been having like a really hard time, and I just don't know if it's possible for me to even reach happiness or true happiness, because it's hard. So this is really short. I thought I was gonna have questions. Okay.
It sounds like you just haven't found the purpose for your meditation. And I just want to encourage you to stay in the room. Just stay in the room, because some consideration, something will come up, something will give you that which you need to get it going. And the guru's not going to give up on you. He didn't give up on me. And so I just want you to stay in the room. Don't give up.
I definitely agree with you. I also feel like there's a lack of appreciation when it comes to my practice. And that's something that I'm working on.
Have you examined the relationship or the role that the guru plays in all of this, as far as your doing your meditation, as far as your success on the path? Have you looked at that, your relationship with the guru and the role that he plays in all of this?
I haven't looked at it deeply, but I know that he definitely plays a role, and I wouldn't be able to do anything without him. Yes.
Got Ferrari in the back.
Yeah.
I have a double question. The first, have you considered why you chose to come to the path in the first place?
Yeah. I want to be happy. I see that, at some level, I see that I'm causing my own suffering, and I want happiness.
But you said that you don't think that happiness is possible in this lifetime for you.
I didn't say that. I said that it's difficult. I feel like I have a fear of failure. I feel that it's going to be very difficult to attain, but I do want to try. I do want to put my all into it and try to be happy.
Second part of my question. You say you value, part of what you said, something, you value how others view you. And you know what I mean, you don't want to disappoint anybody on either end. Have you valued, or have you looked at how much you value the master view you, and in terms of his instructions, and how much does that weigh into your decision-making process?
I do value what the guru, the master, thinks of me and what he says, I am guilty of not following everything, all the instructions. So obviously, there's something that I need to look at further.
You mentioned your doubt. Have you been able to see what you have doubt in, whether it's the teachings, the master, or yourself?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You were talking about doubt. Have you been able to see what you doubt? The source of your doubt, whether it's in the teachings, the master, or you?
Yeah, like a lot of my family members and a lot of my friends, they think I'm in a cult. So it's that doubt there that, you know, am I making the right decision? And like a lot of people are like, are you gonna go to hell? So it's like I want to make the right decision where.
So in other words, you have doubt in all three categories.
Yes.
With all the things that you shared thus far, can you elaborate more on what is, despite all those doubts, what has brought you to this point of still moving forward? Can you elaborate more on what keeps you moving forward despite those doubts?
I feel like there's a part of me that I believe what the Guru tells me, and I believe what the Master tells me, so I want to do my very best. There's like a part of me that doesn't, that doesn't agree with my family or my friends. And I really don't feel like I agree with my families and friends. I don't want them to like turn their back on me. Like I don't want them to feel like I'm making the wrong decision. Like I want some type of validation. Like, oh, you're right. You know what I mean? Like you made the right decision. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I could do that too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what I want from them.
Master has always said that your family and friends are never going to support you on the path. Never. So if you're looking for that, you're never going to do anything. Because their opinion of you will always outweigh what he tells you, which is what's happening now. And number two, have you read the fear pamphlet? Because everything you said, he talks about in that pamphlet. You should study that pamphlet. It might help you. I don't know, but it might.
Okay, it's really what it boils down to is either you're going to choose God or you're going to choose man. And that's really what it is. So you're concerned about what your family and friends may say. So that means that you're leaning more towards man. So are you doing any reading to kind of get some understanding? Because right now you're battling God and man. And man, look at what he's created. Look what he's doing. You want to be associated and affiliated with that, concerned about what they do. And remember, the Master said that they're schizophrenic. We all are, but you want to follow somebody that's crazy, or you want to follow somebody who's going to get you out of this madness. And it's a choice. You have to reevaluate why you actually came to the path. What drew you? That moment, what hit you and say, I want to do this. And if that's what you want to do, you do it. You can't let anybody knock you down. It's a part of growing up. You can't do that. Or you're going to forever be in bind and double-mindedness, worried about what somebody else say. They don't care about what you say. They still do what they do. So you need to figure out what you want to do for you. Because ain't no more mom and daddy holding hand. You got to stand up. Either you're going to be with God or you're going to be with man. And that's how it should be.
Gita, have you also looked at how much involvement, how involved with you are with the things that are being presented for you to help you on, there's some things, because the weight of what your family or your father, depending on how close that is, the depth of that relationship is going to weigh on you. However, there's certain things, there's certain gifts that he gives us regularly on the path that helps to be able to help you overcome that, like the cooler process, telephone satsang, and other things that, even having a greater relationship with somebody that's on the path that has been there for a while. So are you using those to help you get past that? Because those things, you might want to look at and see how those things could help you overcome what's there for you too, because that does help.
Well, is she going to answer that? Yeah, let her answer first. Let me ask
No.
another question.
I don't take advantage of any of those things. I guess in a way, I kind of been like guruing myself, and that's wrong. I've been like reading what I wanted to read and doing what I want to do, and I guess that's where I'm at.
Have you, I know you weren't at retreat, but did you get the consideration and have you gone over that to see that maybe you're seeking approval from your family is you're not willing to see the futility of that, and maybe that you're looking for some kind of fulfillment from them that maybe keeps you from having a functional sadhana?
I did get the consideration, and I have gone over it. And I mean, I do see that me trying to get approval from my friends and family is futile. I see that. But I see it, but I don't know if it's just like habit or what. It's just hard to just completely let go for me, for some reason.
Roger Vera next.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, what is it that your heart tells you about this particular path? And also, what does your heart tell you about its teacher, Bhagwan? That's one part. And also, these naysayers, your family and friends and like that, what are they doing for their own happiness? And is that working? Is it working for them?
My heart tells me that the Master is, full of love, and I feel that. I feel that this is the path for me. I do. As far as my friends and family, they seek their happiness through TV watching
So if that,
Wait, no, I'll save it next.
I just want to say that the Master or any of us, we're not saying drop your family and your friends. That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is that you become attached to that, where you become dependent upon these things out in the world. That's what we're saying. We're not saying drop your family, drop your friends. No. Don't become dependent upon that to the point where you can't travel this path. Don't become dependent upon that stuff.
In understanding that, friends and family, I too struggled initially with wanting family acceptance, and all of that, to give me permission to do something that my heart was saying that I needed to do, which was trying to end my suffering. There's something that has been pushing you even to remain on the path that is counterintuitive to what your friends are saying or your family is saying. It might be that, whatever is pushing you to stay on the path, it might be that which what you really, really want to look into and dig into, because then that might grow. You follow what I'm saying? And if that grow, then your desire and all of that to really, focus in and lock in on the path, that might grow. So maybe you want to look into what is it that's keeping me coming back? What is it that made you do Satsang today? You know what I'm saying? And look at that and let that be your driving force. And maybe that'll open up, and then maybe you'll come up for a cool six-pack.
also, Can I add something to Kenji? Also too, you don't, call your mom and them and say, what should I wear today? You don't let them control that part of you. You need to do it, look at this just like that. If you ain't calling them and say, Mama, what I'm gonna eat? Can I go to work? Can I get my hair this way? Why are you, and they watching TV, why are you depending on a TV watcher to help you become enlightened or keep you from becoming enlightened? So you have to, because you are a young girl, and at this point, this is where girlhood and womanhood, you gotta either stand up and be a woman on all things or lay down and be a girl on everything. And that's what you gotta do. You at a crossroad. Choose which road you're gonna go down. Either you're gonna be a follower and dependent, because even if you choose to stay on the path, you gotta do the work yourself. We just here to say, okay, and point out whatever, but the work, the real work is in here. So if your practice is in all, is in disarray, then your life gotta be in disarray, because then you doing stuff based on what your family said you should and should not do. And you probably miss out on a lot of opportunities to do something that you really want, but you settle for that. Stop settling for less and settling what other people tell you to do. If it's in your heart to be on the path, then you be on the path. You forsake all others and things if you want this. If not, don't complain.
Also, I
And when
wanted
you
to
fall
ask you,
short, call Safe Another.
Come.
She'll help.
I wanted to ask you, has any of these people that you're talking about, have they read any of the teachings or heard any of your teachings, or are they familiar with Bhagwan? Or
No, I don't think I've been involved.
But so they won't even listen, look, or nothing. Then I would say they don't know what they're talking about. How could they?
I believe I shared this with you before, because my family too had that same feeling, that I was in a cult and I was going to hell and all of that. And actually a part of me questioned that. And what I did was I tried to pretend like that part of me wasn't there, and just keep going. But it was there, and it did in subtle ways held me back. But as I persevered and stayed with it, what I found is that my family responded to my life change as opposed to what I'm doing. They still don't like what I'm doing, but they are no longer in opposition. They're not trying to convince me not to do it or anything like that. So when they saw that I was going for it, irregardless, I told them, just look and see what you see. Don't judge me by what you think, but wait and see what it do for me. Because the family loves you and they want to see you do something best. They don't have the insight that somebody that has been in this may think that they have. They just going by, they love you, they don't want to see you do the wrong thing. But when they see, if you can show them something about what you're doing, I would say the first thing is to consider how deeply are you going for it. So that they can see, well, hey, this ain't no cult, this ain't gonna kill her, so that might be another alternative, to go for this thing in a manner, in a way that will produce something that'll let them know that you're okay.
Actually, to dovetail and to expand on what Rajbir and Mukherjee said, is that what they may be looking for and what they have not seen is any change in you. And what we all know is that some changes will occur on this path. And obvious changes, and I don't know if they've had any of that experience with you. Because if you look the same, act the same, do the same, then what are you doing? It has to be something that they can, when she says, when Mukherjee said, at first they still don't like it, but they can see that she's different. See what I'm saying? So have they seen any difference in you? Have you done anything to the extent where it's changed. You know, maybe your patience or your anger, you're not so quick to be angry. I mean, are there things, tangible things that have happened? And if those things have not happened, then they can, that's food for them. You know, they can continue to say, well, you know, you ain't doing nothing. Look at you, you just like me. You know, you still get mad. I mean, you act a fool, you whatever it is that they say. And as long as they can do that, then they're not going to see where there's an advantage. And they're going to say, no, you shouldn't be doing this. This is what this is. This is what this is. So that's one of the things, you know, about, and because it seems that you're very close to your family. You value what they say and all these kinds of things. But then you also value what the Guru says. But in order for you to be able to use what the Guru is saying to you and do that, then there's something that has to happen with you. Once that happens with you, you don't have to worry about what your family thinks and stuff. All that be taken care of because you really want the attachment to what they feel and think and what they want you to do won't be there for you. And as they see that, that's automatically a change. And then too, they're gonna look at you as you, I mean, you know how your family looks at you as a little girl? I mean, you may be how old you are, but they continue to look at you like a child, a little girl. And that's the relationship with you. You know, you don't have, you're not grown enough to make a decision like that. You don't know what you're doing. But then when there's some signs in you, in your behavior, in your actions, that they can see, then some of that will fall away. Some of that will fall away. But that's going to take you doing some, you know, that's going to take coming to Satsang. Because you can't do it by yourself at this point. It is difficult. That's why we're here. That's why we're gifts to one another. Use us. You know, call us up or whatever. When something happens, you know, you feel, you know, discouraged, call somebody up. Somebody's on the path. Not one of your girlfriends, you know, because they can't help you with this either, unless they're on the path too. And that would probably help you too, to strengthen your practice and to become more involved with it. Now, did you hear the CDs from the retreat, or did you see the DVD? That would be very good for you to see, because he does talk about all the things that you said. And it's not that you do them by yourself. You know, we're all guilty of doing it to some degree or another. And we've been through some things that you still have to go through, because you for all practical purposes, you just got here. But you have to use it. You have to use those things that you've been given. Unless you use them, they're never going to help you. And it just, I mean, even if you did your practice on time every day and your family saw that, doesn't make any difference what you're doing. If you just got up every day at the same time, that would make a difference. Or if you're a snatch out or anything else, that's, they can see that, well, you know, maybe this is something. You know, maybe there is something to that. And that might help.
When I came to the path, my sister told my brother and other family members that I was in a cult. Didn't make me any difference. So it's not about your family, whether they accept you or not. This is about you. You chose this path. Either if you're double-minded about it, you got to find out why. You got to do the study, whatever it is you need to do to find out why, because they may never accept it, like my family doesn't. But it's never deterred me from coming. And yes, I struggle like everybody else, but if I ever leave the path, it would be because of me. It won't be because of what my family thinks or doesn't think, because this is not about them, this is my life. And I know I'm much older than you, so you may not be able to relate to that in the same way. But you have to get to a point where you see this is about your life, this is not about your mother, your father, anybody else. And either you value, like Faraji said, find out why you came, and whatever drew you, build on that. Okay? whatever, whether it was attraction to the Guru, the Dharma, or whatever, I don't know, we all have different experiences. But that's the only way you're gonna persevere, whether your family ever accepts you. And I understand what they're saying, but the bottom line is, you gotta find out why you came, is this for you? Because like you say, you're lying to yourself, you can't continue to lie to yourself. None of us can, and we can speak from, like Guru Dasa said, from a point that maybe you can't, because most of us, if we're honest, have had some of these same struggles you're dealing with. Okay, but you know, we're still here, so it must be something that keeps us here. But you have to get to the point where you get tough-minded and give up thy fear. That's why I said to read that pamphlet of your family and friends and decide if this is what you want to do. That's the bottom line. That other stuff doesn't matter. It's something you have to decide. And if they don't agree or approve, you got to be okay with that.
I don't want to discredit or disvalue what your true feelings are, because they seem, what you expressing, it seem like it's something real for you. But at the same time, you can't keep letting yourself off the hook. You know what I mean? You can't keep utilizing that as a ploy for you to let yourself off the hook. My family, my family, my family. Because the reality, I think, if you know, took a toll around this room, a lot of us came from a Christian background, you know, where stuff like this wasn't even, you know, this was blasphemous. This was the Antichrist. You know what I mean? And any name other than Jesus Christ, you was going flat out in the hell.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that probably at the most gross level was just the changing of the diet. For my family to see me not eating chicken was, you know, they knew I was going to hell at that point. You know what I mean? I mean, it was right, you know, they were preaching chicken. I mean, they was cool with the pork, you know, they were cool with the beef and all of that, but the chicken. So even with a change in your diet, you know, no slip-ups. This is the direction in which I'm going. And now what I see is, I go visit my family and they're calling me, what do y'all eat? I never had to ask them to change. I just didn't eat the chicken anymore. You follow what I'm saying? So as opposed to going and trying to make a strong argument for why you should be on the path, or trying to convince somebody that has no intentions of getting on the path, then your argument has to be to you. You follow what I'm saying? And something as gross as just your diet. Make that a statement. Just say, going forward, this is what I'm doing. And they'll fall in, you know what I mean? They'll fall in line. And then everything else, they'll just, you know, they still gonna call you crazy as hell. Don't get that part twisted. You know, that ain't gonna change. But they'll start accepting it. But it's more about you accepting you being on the path, not them.
Absolutely.
The struggle ain't with them. The struggle is with you. So.
Yeah, I'd like to add too that you maybe to look at the fact too that all the things that they're doing and they're capable of, you were already capable of that when you came to the path. I mean, as far as pleasurizing yourself and having opinions about things and your own superstitions about religion and God and, you know, and all of that. You had all of those things that they had. So it's not a question of whether you need to follow them. You know, it's really just the opposite. They need to follow you. They need to get some discipline, you know, in their lives, and you know, try as best they can to really give something back to God. You know what I mean? And however way they want to do that, and that's what they should be looking towards. And if they're not, why give them any undue attention?
I got one.
gotta let her respond to some of this stuff.
Right.
man.
So I guess my question now is, after all the feedback and all the insights that, you know, you've received today, with that information, what are you gonna do differently going forward?
Well, I'm definitely gonna sit down and think about, and evaluate what has kept me here. I think that's something I need to start off with. And I'm definitely gonna utilize, the telephone Satsangs and the cool meetings and everything. And grow up, just try to become a woman and not depend on my parents and my friends so much.
Remember, it's on tape, we got you. You gotta follow through.
Like your song said, go your own way.
That was a beautiful song.
Because you gotta find out the truth for yourself. It's gotta be true to you. And it also gotta be your service to God.
I just wanted to say, not to fall into the trap of doing your practice just to prove something to your family, because that's still another trying to get acceptance from them. So you wanna prove it to yourself. You wanna prove the truth of the Dharma to yourself, have a personal experience.
And don't think that you're the only one going through this. We all are going through this, so you can always call and, on the phone and talk to someone about it. You know, I went through this. I'm sure a lot of other people went through it, and some still going through it, so don't think that you're the only one.
I had asked her if you got a copy of CDs, and she said no. So then, you know, that would help too.
For the retreat,
Yeah,
what you got a copy for?
okay.
I need it. Sorry.
That's it?
That's
You
it.
got another song?
Yeah, I do.
you